There is a clear signal that the Russians have something on him.
Do you believe he's compromised by Vladimir Putin?
Well, I certainly think he's acting like someone who's compromised.
As a matter of fact, I think he is Putin's apprentice. He's been under his tutelage for a long time now.
Russia.
Holding them accountable. Sean gets the answers no one else does. Freedom is back in style. Welcome to the revolution. Information on breaking news and more bold, inspired solutions for America.
At hour 2, Sean Hannity Show. We have Craig Jarrett releasing his book today. It's Sarah Carter coming up. 800-941-SEAN is our toll-free telephone number. You want to be a part of the program. All right, so though heavily redacted, 412 pages indicates everything that we have been reporting and telling you, that in fact the Steele dossier, that even he said in an interrogatory was, raw intelligence, maybe 50-50. Yeah, that was the basis for all 4 FISA warrants. And the level of lying and corruption here is as bad and even worse than what we initially thought that it was about. The warrant application was the unverified, uncorroborated dossier. That was it. The FISA court was lied to and misled. You don't have, as we said before, and this is McCabe who actually said this, no warrant without the dossier. Andrew McCabe had said that a while back. And it also means that in statements that have been made publicly, and even on his book tour, James Comey lied when he told Brett Baier that the dossier was not a critical part of the application. That's a lie we now know. The FISA court did not know that Hillary bought and paid for this document. That is a glaring omission, because had they known, there's no way any judge would ever have approved a bought and paid for, unverified, uncorroborated political op research piece. And you know what? All of this lying to judges. Now, we're going to go over with Craig Jarrett the potential crimes that are in play here. That's coming up. But the center of all of this is a guy by the name of Carter Page, who joins us now. Have you read the full 412 redacted blackout pages?
I've gone through a fair chunk of it, Sean. It's just from about page 1, it was just a complete laugh. So.
Okay, but what they're saying here is that you were collaborating and conspiring with the Russian government. That's a serious charge. And that, let's put aside how they got the warrants to surveil you and spy on you. And there's even a report out, by the way, that I have been surveilled and unmasked at the request of Brennan. That's going to be interesting, because if they did do that to me, I will sue all of them. Every single one of them will be sued, and I will hire the greatest attorneys in this country to take that case, because it's we don't have a constitution, we don't have a Fourth Amendment protection, we don't have a country. So to get the application to spy on you and surveil you, they lied to the courts. That's first and foremost.
Well, it's funny. Not only did they lie, they have 2 main themes which are totally contradictory. They call me a quote-unquote foreign agent, but then at the same time, they say I'm a target of recruitment, right? So which one is it? I mean, there's so many inconsistencies, and it's just completely beyond comprehension.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a part of it. But let me go. They are making in this application that you had collaborated and conspired with the Russian government, and they referred to you as an agent of a foreign power. Well, first of all, why are you in my studio if all of that's true? I mean, wouldn't you have been arrested wouldn't that be treason against your country?
It would be, and it's just so false that, where do you even begin to go through that?
Yeah. Well, go through it. I mean, I know they relied on a political document to get the warrant to spy on you. I got it, and I got how corrupt it is, and I got that they lied about it to do so. Well, you're not in jail.
No.
Have you ever been charged?
No, absolutely not. And all the questions, or a good chunk of the questions I was asked were by the FBI was along the lines of these false accusations, which
Okay, but you have told me in a past interview that, in fact, our own government, our own intelligence community, because how many times have you been over to Russia, for example?
I lived there for about 3 years, 2004 to 2007. My first time over there was at the end of this Soviet era in the summer of '91, so I've spent a lot of time over there.
Did they ever try to recruit you?
Never in my life did one person ever ask me to do anything illegal or even unethical.
Okay, so they never asked you to spy on your own country. Well, I've got to ask the question.
Yeah.
All right, so you were over there. You told me that in this period of 2016 that you were going over to give, I guess, what was the equivalent of a commencement speech.
Yes.
Okay, and that's the period of time. Now, the other thing that you told me is whenever you would come back to the States, that our intelligence services would take you out to lunch.
Well, not whenever, but many times that happened over.
So you cooperated with the CIA.
I always have them and the FBI.
And can you say how many times they took you out to lunch or dinner to download you?
Frankly, I lost track after a while.
Did they ever ask you to do things for the United States that you were willing to do?
Sean, I don't, it was
Is that
just
yes?
sharing information.
So you had no problem sitting down with them and telling them everything that you knew about your travels to what is, we got to admit, a hostile regime. You agree that Russia is a hostile regime to the United States?
I think there's a lot of misunderstandings regarding those points, and I think that's what's been great about what President Trump has been doing.
You don't think that Putin's a hostile actor, former KGB guy?
Look, the former KGB aspect is like me being a former military officer. He served his country, and he's doing new things now. So.
Do you think they tried to impact our elections in 08, 2012, and 2016?
Sean, I can only talk from what I know personally.
Well, I think
based on my information, my personal experience, I never saw anything that would support that thesis.
Would you dispute our intelligence community? Because I believe they obviously did, but it's not the first time, and I think they'll even try it again, that they tried to influence the elections in 2016. You don't have any doubt about that. I don't have any doubt about that.
Well, all I know...
chaos, as the House Intelligence Committee said.
On each count, Sean, there was definitely more attempts to create chaos by the U.S. government in terms of these false information campaigns and leaking these crazy stories to the media to damage the Trump campaign prior to November 2016, and definitely it created a lot of problems. So.
I don't know why there's a reluctance in you. I think it's every single member of the Intel Committee. This came up when President Trump had his press conference with Vladimir Putin, but he had previously said and reiterated after, and I played the montage of how many times he had said, that not only Russia but other countries are always trying to impact our elections and create chaos in this country. And my biggest complaint is we have not developed the system to prevent cyber attacks. At some point, we have got to build the best cybersecurity available, and we've not done so. And that, I think, is at some point becomes our problem. But every single intelligence person I know believes that Russia and Putin did and have tried to impact this country and create chaos in the country and our electoral process.
Sean, I can only speak for what I know personally, and again, there were two main accusations in the January 6, 2017 DNI report from Mr. Clapper and his colleagues. Mm-hmm. One is that there was hacking, and the other is that there was state media, RT Sputnik, that was putting out this false propaganda. In each of those two counts, I have a tremendous amount of evidence and knowledge that each of those things were done against the Trump campaign. Number one, the hacking, which we learned, as you mentioned, 400 pages about the fact that I was hacked and all of my communications with members of the Trump campaign, the people I know, part of the Trump.
Illegal, though. What they did to you is illegal.
I find no reason to disagree with that, absolutely.
Are you going to take any measures any legal measures against these people?
Again, I go back to those two themes of the Mr. Clapper's DNI report 2 weeks before the inauguration last year. First is the hacking. Second is the fake news propaganda by government agencies. The legal action that I'm working on right now is a suit against the U.S. taxpayer-funded Broadcasting Board of Governors. They fund over $100 million a year to Radio Free Europe. That propaganda agency put out those same false stories that were in the FISA application send it out to American voters in September 2016.